One of the most important things that you can learn as a new print-on-demand seller if you want to make a ton of sales this year is how to not only design better, but how to get way faster at actually getting those designs out. Now, I definitely believe that quality is typically going to win out against just pure quantity, but I think that it's really advantageous if you can kind of learn to leverage both of those aspects when creating really sellable print-on-demand designs. So in today's video, I'm actually going to show you how you can create more than 10 designs in just 10 minutes without sacrificing any of that quality. And hopefully with this method, you can find some amazing niches in designs to post and really be able to make some great sales this summer. Now, before we even jump into actually creating our design, first we're gonna have to come up with a really great niche to be able to find a winning product to sell. I've said it many, many times, but even if you have the best design in the world, if you're trying to compete for a niche that is maybe too saturated or just the wrong time, you are not going to end up making any sales. So I actually have a great tool for you guys. It is my cross-niching guidebook. Some of you are probably really familiar with this. In fact, I actually have a full free workshop that shows you exactly how to use this guidebook, and we'll send it to you totally for free along with some other guides. So if you want to get that, that's linked down below in the description. But I'm going to show you how I start with coming up with niches for a lot of upcoming events and holidays. So I have my guidebook pulled up right here. And basically what this guide is going to help you do is to find a couple different categories of things and cross them together to create a winning niche that has a lot less competition. So if you were trying to create just a generic Christmas design, that's probably going to be way too hard to compete in. So I always recommend finding some way that you can kind of cross that or sub niche it with something else to just give you a little bit more chance of standing out and making sales. So instead of just a generic Christmas design, you could do a Christmas dentist design, or Christmas nurse design, a Christmas doctor design. All of those would just cut down on the competition and make you compete in a little bit smaller of a pool of designs. So let's just go over to the holidays and start thinking about what holiday we should be designing for next. Now, even though it's May, that doesn't mean we should be looking in this May section to figure out what types of designs we are going to be making today. Typically, as a print-on-demand seller, you want to be working at least 2 months in advance. So that means that we are skipping all the way down to July. Now, July, especially if you're in the United States, Independence Day is one of the biggest holidays, and this really can be a huge money maker. Now, this year, in the United States is an election year, so typically any kind of patriotic design or things that have to do with like the election around this time are going to sell even better. So I think 4th of July is going to be a great niche for us to target, but on its own, it's just going to be way too broad. So what I recommend doing is going down to one of the other categories and pulling a few things to cross this with. So one of the first categories, and this is one of my favorite ones to cross with a holiday, is just going to be a career. People are super passionate about what they do, and people love to give gifts about someone's career or their hobby. So let's look through these and maybe pull out a few that could be good ones. So dentist could be a fantastic one. Teacher is a great one to target. Teachers love to wear holiday themed shirts and outfits. Hairdresser could be a great one. A nurse could be a fantastic one too. So let's take some of those ideas and just start running with those when we are creating our design. So I have headed over to Kittl, which is my design suite of choice where I create a lot of my designs. And one of the things that I want to show you guys how to use today on Kittl when we're creating these designs is their new infinite canvas. Now, this is going to make it really easy for us to create multiple different shirt designs all at one time. This is such a cool feature. I was so excited when they added this because now you're not going to have to go from different project to different project, jumping between a bunch of things. You can simply work on everything all at one time. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do that, and this is going to really help us get a lot more designs out way faster. So I'm just going to start by going to new project, and then I really like to use these POD presets because that just helps pick a good size. Now, I typically go with this Merch by Amazon size, which is 4,500 pixels by 5,400 pixels, and this typically is going to work on any other platform that you sell. So even if you are selling on a place like Printify, you could click this one one, but a lot of times this size is just going to work for everything. So I'm going to go ahead and click that and go ahead and push create. Now it went ahead and it pulled up this first artboard right here. So before we even go on and start making our following designs, we're just going to focus on this very first one. Now for that first one, I think I'm going to go with that dentist design. And so I thought it could be cute to have a lot of these shirts say something like All American Dentist. So I'm just going to go ahead and start adding some text and working on this design. Now to add text, you're just going to go over here to this text section, and you can either pick one of their pre-made texts right here, or you can just push add a headline. Now it starts a little bit small, but we can go ahead and resize that. So I'm just going to go ahead and put all and make that a little bit bigger. And then I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste that, right, American, and stretch that out here. And then I'm going to go ahead and copy that one more time and push dentist. All right, so we have our design. It's definitely looking very plain right now, but I'm going to show you one of my favorite design styles that is so easy. Probably a lot of you have made something like this before, but it is that groovy retro style with kind of that wavy text. Now, this looks super impressive. Everybody is still buying these types of items, but it is really one of the simplest design styles that you can do. Now, all you're going to do is first, you just want to change this to some kind of groovy retro font. And Kittle has quite a few over in their text, but typically the one that I think looks really, really good with this style is going to be called Sunny Drop. So I'm just going to go ahead and switch all of these words to that Sunny Drop style. That's looking really cute here. And then the next thing I think I want to do is change the color of this text here. So you can go ahead and go over to the text color, and you can kind of just play around with picking different colors here. But one thing that I think makes stuff a lot easier sometimes is if you find an element that already has some colors you like, then you can just pull the swatches from there. So I'm going to go ahead and look up 4th of July and see if there's any cute elements that we could add. So this star is cute. It has that red and blue that I really like. I think we could use those, and we could even add some of these stars later. So let's just go ahead and go with that. So I'm going to change this all to that blue color right here, and then I think I'm going to do American in that red. And I think that I want to make this more like for a girl or a woman who's buying this, so I think that I'm going to do maybe like a pinky reddish color. I think that could look really cute. All right, so this is the fun part where we're actually going to go ahead and start warping our letters. So I'm going to start with dentist right here, and all I'm going to click down here in this transform section is distort. Now that's going to enable me to start moving the shape of the letters here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and raise this so it has that swoop. Now you can do it really dramatic, you can do it a little bit less so. I typically like it about there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this second bit of lettering here, and I'm again going to go ahead and push distort, and I'm just going to move these sections until it kind of fills in this area here. Sometimes you just have to play around with it. And then I have this curve going right here at the bottom, and I'm just going to try to match that here at the top. So I'm going to raise this here until I'm happy with that. And then lastly, I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing with this all. I'm going to push distort, and I'm just going to play around with it until it kind of fills in this area here. And I'm really happy with that. So that is looking super cute. I'm just going to go ahead and select all these and resize so it takes up more of this canvas. That's looking good. And then I really do like this star, so I think I'm going to add maybe a few of these around here. So let's go ahead and just copy that, and then I'm going to go ahead and paste one. So we have another star here, and then you could add other things too. So say I wanted to add like something for a dentist, I could look up a dentist element, or if I just wanted to go ahead and add something like this at the bottom here, I can do that as well. So that is looking really cute. Now this is where the actual fun part comes in, and where we start really getting going with making a ton of different designs. So if you want to make another design to start working on, all you have to do is just go ahead and push shift and then click on this first artboard. And then I'm going to go ahead and copy this, and then I'm just going to go and paste it. And it's going to create a second artboard for me right here. And I can mess around with where it is, but I'm just going to go ahead and put it right next to it. Now, For this next one, I think I'm going to go ahead and make it for a teacher. So all I have to do is just change out the word to teacher, and it's going to auto format what we already did. So I didn't even have to redistort this or anything. It's already perfectly placed. And now this design is totally ready. And I can go ahead and do the same thing again. So I can just shift, and then I can copy this and then paste it down here, and we can do a totally different one. So maybe for this, I want to do a nurse. So we can do that. And then for this fourth one here, we don't even have to necessarily do another career. We could even do something like a family member. So you could do like All-American Grandma, All-American Mom. So let's make this one for a mom. That's looking super cute. And you could do this with a ton of different ones. So you keep just copying and pasting these artboards and just change out that last word for a bunch of different designs. Now, if we want to go ahead and see what this would actually look on a t-shirt, you can do that too on Kittl. So I'm just going to go ahead and push Mockup, and it's going to ask you which artboard you wanted to look at as a mockup. So I'm going to look at this teacher one and just push create mockup. And first you can just see it on a plain t-shirt, what that's going to look like. So that looks super cute. You could also see, like, if you wanted to try and see what it would look like on a different color t-shirt, you could do that too. So if you wanted to do like a light pink, that could be cute. But I'm just going to stick with that white color. And then if you wanted to see it on a person, you can do that as well. So I'm just going to arrange this here. That's looking really cute. So once you're happy with that placement, I'm just going to go back to the editor. And one way you can actually change the name of each one of your designs is go over here to layers, and you can double click the artboard you want to change. And so I'm just going to do All American Mama here, and you could do the same thing for all of them. So for artboard 1, we can go do All American Dentist. All right, so I went ahead and I changed all of these to have a better name for when I download them, because when you download, this is essentially going to be the name of the file, each of those artboard names. And then if you want to make the whole project named something, so you could say something like All American Template. And then the cool thing about this is, say you created 10 unique designs here. Well, if you had some more ideas, you wanted to create some other maybe careers or hobbies in this, you can always come back to this template, and just all of this is ready to go. You can go ahead and switch out that last word again to create even more designs. So once you are happy with the designs you created, now I'll show you how to actually export this. So there's a couple different ways that you can do this. First, you're going to go over here to the download section, and say I only wanted to download that first one. I'm going to deselect these and just click that first one. And you're just going to go ahead and download it like you really would any other print-on-demand design. So the size looks good, the DPI is good, and I'm just going to go ahead and remove that background and push download. Now, but one other thing that you can do is you can click all artboards, and then you can just push download, and it is going to download them into a zipped file for you. So that is one of the biggest game changers here. So if you had like 10 different designs, you're not going to have to go and individually download every single one of those, check all the settings on that. You can download them all at once and then unzip the file, and all of those designs are ready to go. So really, this new artboard feature on Kittl is going to be a game changer. Not only can you do stuff like this, but you can work on multiple different types of projects all at the same time. Or for example, say you wanted to create an artwork that works for a t-shirt, and then make one for a candle and a mug and a hoodie, and all of those needed to be different sizes. You can start with creating that first one and just make multiple different artboards that are all different sizes on that same project. You're not going to have to leave and go out and create totally new things. And if you're really familiar with using Kittl's pre-made templates, you can do these same kinds of things with those templates here. This is just making such a big difference. I've already been using it a ton in my own business, and I can't wait to make even more videos showing you guys how this really changes things and can really help you make designs a lot easier and a lot faster. Now, if you don't have Kittl yet, I actually have a discount code for you guys down below that's going to get you a discount on your first membership. So I definitely recommend signing up down below with that link. And if you do want to just give them a try, they also have a free trial that is a little bit more limited, but also has some amazing features. But if you want to use everything that I did in this tutorial, you definitely want to try out one of their paid plans. I really can't recommend Kittl enough. And if you want even more ideas of how to create really awesome designs super fast using their templates, I want to recommend that you watch this video next. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.